tazama tu DAESAK TV.
watching us from, and this is the Morning Dew Show here on DAESAK TV, the cradle of goodness. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, it is a great Monday. Today being on 28th of November, the year 2022. Only 2 days remaining to December. So we are about to start the celebrations here and there. Anyway, my name is Peter Kamau, and you can just follow us on our social media handles. That is on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at DAESAK TV. Remember, this is the cradle of goodness. And also, you can just send us your text message on the number running below your screen. Yes, this is the Morning Dew Show.
Yeah. And just to move on to start up this day, this Monday morning.
People your name.
Oh. Sorry about that. My name is Andy Michael. You're welcome.
Hangovers.
You're welcome.
Monday hangovers. Yeah.
The Monday blues inakuwa ni ngumu sana. Leo nilikuwa sijisikii kuamka.
Leo nilikuwa umeamshwa.
Nilikuwa mchana. Nilikuwa sijisikii kabisa kuamka.
Jana ulipita kwa ile base.
Na sijui ilikuwa lili nikilala. Siku naenda kasi. Usingizi inakuwa tamu kabisa.
Na wakati uko off.
Siku liko off labuka saa 11. I don't know why. But anyway, let's move on to what is making headlines today. And on the Standard, exams like no other. That is the biggest story there. Exams like no other. And they're saying there are almost 3.5 million candidates, making it the biggest lot of recent times. And it will be the first time national tests are administered to grade 6 learners, the pioneer class of CBC. It continues on page 6 and 7.
And on the Daily Nation, the story that is making headline is all about Gachagua Days Raila. And this is whereby Azimio has revealed three-pronged approach to counter Ruto's offensive. And this is whereby Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua criticizes Azimio la Umoja One Kenya's announcement on political rallies to defend Electoral Agency Vice Chair Juliana Cherela and 3 others facing ouster. And dares ODM and Wiper leaders Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka to put their children on the front line of any protests. So this is Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua who dares the Raila Odinga together with Kalonzo Musyoka, who have announced the rallies. Yeah, so and on this one we shall find that story in depth on page 6 and 7 of the Daily Nation. Whereas we shall get into details to understand whatever that is going on there concerning the Cherera form. Then another story, we find that it is kind of a story that has been mentioned by Kilambo here, which is making headline on the Standard. Is the same story I have on the Daily Nation concerning the exams. And it says that 3.4 million candidates who will sit for the 3 national examinations this year. So remember that we shall be having 3 national examinations this year. That is about KPSEA, that is for grade 6 students, pupils. There is KCP for class 8 pupils, and KCSE for form 4 students. And on these, the TSC, that is the Teacher Service Commission, has announced that over 3.4 million, that is 3,416,048 students will be sitting for these exams, whereby 1.2 million will be for those who will be students who will be sitting for KPSEA, and 1.2 million another students will be sitting for KCP, while 884,263 students will be sitting for KCSE. That story we shall find it on the last page of the Daily Nation.
And some stories that are still making headlines on the Standard is IEBC for Raila calls for return of People's Assembly. And there's a story here that is that story continues on page 4. Then there's a story here, why home is most unsafe for women. You remember we are celebrating 16 days of
activism against gender-based violence.
Against gender-based violence. So that is a special report that is on page 10 of the Standard. Chinese protest lockdowns. That is on world page. It goes on page 29.
Even Chinese, they do protest. Okay.
Shame as rugby players turn beggars. That's on sport page 40. We'll be looking at that. And lastly, same cabinet, different maize scripts. That is on page 8. We'll be talking more about that.
Okay, on Daily Nation, stories that are still making headlines here. We have maize imports whereby farmers' protests fall on deaf ears. The government has set tough conditions for farmers to either release hoarded maize grains or compete with 10 million bags of imported maize to be released to the market to ease artificial shortages and lower the cost of flour. So this is whereby the Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria has issued notice of 72 hours notice to farmers to raise the maize, so that either they release the maize or it is a Monday. Or the 10 million bags of GM maize which has been imported be released to into the market. And also we have that story, you can find it on the page 10 of the Daily Nation. And also we have another story here. It is the headline is all about early start whereby Wiper Raider Kalonzo Musyoka throws heart in the running for presidency in 2027. That story is on page 5 of the Daily Nation. And lastly, Hustlers Fund is whereby why defaulting on the Hustler loans will be a costly affair for borrowers. We shall find that story on page 8 of the Daily Nation.
Ruto says political noise is a sign of democracy. That's a story that's on page 4. So President William Ruto has said the noise in the country is clear indicator that everyone is doing their work and everything will fall in place as his administration takes shape. What do you think about that?
Ruto says?
He says political noise is a sign of democracy.
Political noise is a sign of democracy. So it means that as Kenya, we understand that we have a democracy in our country. So, and everything that we do, we have a freedom to do whatever that we want to do. So whenever we speak whenever we speak out in whatever, anything that is affecting us, so it is all about democracy. In this case, you find that I remember when the president Ruto was announced to be as a winner in the presidential elections on 8th of August. That is 9th of August, sorry. He had an interview whereby he said he will allow anybody who will wish to do, what do we call it, to oversight the government. Yes, so it is kind of, so that's why we may say that it is a democracy. Yes, it is allowed for anybody to, yes.
So he says, he was speaking during a Silver Jubilee celebration at Sitam Church in Karen. Ruto said he is happy the executive, judiciary, parliament, and the oppositions are playing their role. The executive will also do its work while parliament and judiciary serve Kenyans. Eventually, everything will be okay. Kindly support us. That was the president's sentiment yesterday in church.
Okay.
Where he was joined by First Lady Rachel Ruto, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, and Sitam Bishop, that is Callisto Dede in Karen yesterday.
Then we have another story here. It is a sad story about this legend. And we always say that journalists never die. They only, what happens, they go off air. Journalists never die, they go off air. So there is a story here about this journalist who died. And it is all about the legendary photo and video journalist died aboard a hijacked plane off the coast of the Comoro Islands in a tragic incident that grabbed the attention of the world. And we find that this photojournalist, he is known as Abdullah. Let me read a certain story here about this he is Mohammed Amin. A photo and video journalist Mohammed Amin, more familiarly known simply as Mo, was always one step ahead of the pack, covering major breaking news. On November 23, 1996, the last chapter in the life story of one Africa's greatest journalist ended at the prime of his trade. He died aboard a hijacked plane off the coast of the Comoro Island in a tragic incident that gripped the attention of the world. 26 years later, okay. Well, so it is all about these journalists. So it is a sad story about these journalists. It is a memorial. Actually, it is a memorial because he died long, long ago, back in 1996 November. So that's why I can tell you that, believe me, that journalists never die. They go off here because we can still remember these journalists. And here we are as journalists. So, okay, it is on page 2 and page 3 of the Daily Nation. Huh? Yes.
And just to move on, still on the same page, page 4, Kalonzo, I will rally Ukambani region to back Kenya Kwanza, but only if. Yes, that is the quote.
I will rally.
There are conditions that Mr. Honorable Kalonzo is putting in place. He says, I will rally Ukambani region to back Kenya Kwanza, but only if. So, to get more of the only if, just to give you a little tidbit, it says, Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka has issued tough conditions under which he would offer his support and rally the Akamba community in backing President William Ruto's Kenya Kwanza government. So he was addressing residents at Kisiki Primary School grounds during the homecoming party of Ndalani MCA Francis Kitaka and the weekend. Kalonzo said he would support Ruto only for the benefit of development. So that is the biggest condition, only for the benefit of development. So speaking in Kambana, Kalonzo said Ruto has retorted to buying off some leaders in the opposition. So his conditions include construction of the proposed Yatta Dam, the completion of Thwake multi-purpose dam, and the proposed High Grand Falls Dam. The proposed Yatta Dam should be made a top priority because it will supply water in Matu, Kitui, and Makueni, he said. So it's all about development for Kalonzo Musyoka, for him to rally back Kenya Kwanza.
I think there is a lot about Kalonzo Musyoka here because if he says that it is if he has to rally behind Mr. or even the President William Ruto, it means that it is all about, he says it is all about the benefit of the Ukambani residents. So, and then on the same story about Kalonzo Musyoka, we find another story on page 5 of the Daily Nation whereby Kalonzo declares presidential bid. So I think he has started the campaign. So, and he says that this time round there is nothing to stop Kalonzo from becoming the president of Kenya. Ruto is the only obstacle and he knows it. So it means that he has already declared that come 2027 he will be in the ballot, but we shall wait because we do still have time, 5 years down the line. It is quite a long time, so kwa hivyo itabidi tuweze kusubiri pale, maana yake tunajua kwamba mambo ni mengi maana. And here we find that President Ruto and his allies have made attempts to have Mr. Musyoka join Kenya Kwanza administration, and we don't know kama by the time as time goes by he will be there, he will back the president. You never know. Kwa sababu kulingana vile mambo tumeona yakienda, mambo yanayumba yumba katika maeneo ya Western Kenya, hapa Mount Kenya region and even the coast, anything can happen. In politics, usiweke nini siasa sana kwa roho. Weka kwa mapafu ukipumua inaenda.
Okay.
Yes.
Raila asks foot soldiers to protest new Ruto rules. I'll just take that back again. Said. Raila asked foot soldiers to protest new Ruto rules. The pressure from the assemblies contributed to the March 2018 handshake. He said there are plans to have public meetings across the country to pile pressure on the government. So that is ODM. This regime, which came to power through the rigging of election, is now hell-bent on trying to send home the commissioners who stood firm on the platform of the truth. This is not going to be acceptable. That is what Raila has to say. The regime, which came to power through the rigging of election, is now hell-bent on trying to send whom the commissioners who stood firm on the platform of the truth. This is not going to be accepted. So Raila is asking for foot soldiers to protest the new route rules.
Yeah, and I think that is the same story that we had in the headlines of the Daily Nation today. So, and this is whereby it is all about the Cherela 4. So you remember that there is an ongoing petition in the hearing of the petition in the parliament, which is being led by the Committee for Justice and Legal Affairs in the parliament. And we find that Raila Odinga has decided to protest against the ouster of this IBC4. So, and here we find that Mr. Odinga says the removal of the two is part of the plans by the government to skew the 2027 polls in president's favor. So, and hapa hivi there is something that, let me read for you this part. Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition, Raila Odinga yesterday announced a series of rallies in his political basis in support of 4 besieged electoral agencies commissioners facing President William Ruto-backed ouster. Mr. Odinga said the rallies will start in Kamukunji, Nairobi on Wednesday, then move to Mombasa, Nakuru, Kisumu, and Kakamega. And remember hereby, as Raila Odinga says this, the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua also answered him and told them that the sons and daughters of Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka should be in the front line on this demonstration, because it seems as if it is kind of a demonstration. So, and they have said that the Deputy President has told them that they should allow their daughters and sons to be in the front line. So, and I don't get to understand how will this happen, because we understand that in most cases we find that whenever we have such kind of things, such kind of rallies, watu wengi wanapoteza maisha yao, wengine wanaumia. But hopefully that if it will happen, it will be peaceful. Yes, we hope that it will be peaceful. Na Raila Odinga anasema, I will be speaking more in future, but the first step is blocking these people from sending the commissioners home. So it means that there is a lot that Raila Odinga is planning as a leader of opposition. Unajua tumekuwa tukiona ametulia, lakini ni kama sasa ameamka tena.
Ningependa kusema kwamba unajua leo limegundua kwa lili liko na husuni. Nimegundua kwa nini niko na husuni. Husuni yangu inaletwa, unajua mimi nilifanya 844.
Yes.
Sasa nimegundua leo these are the last candidates ambao wanafanya 844.
No, they are not the last.
They are the last.
The last next year.
Hapana. Saizi kama wewe uko class 7. Unaenda class 8.
Yes.
Kama uko class 7.
Unaenda class 8
unaenda
next
class
year.
8.
Yes.
Hawezi kubaliwa kurudia class 7.
Huwezi.
Juu class 7 wa next year wanakuja na CBC.
Ni junior secondary.
Ni wanakuja na CBC. Sasa fortunately or unfortunately wala sika 844 tukiendelea hivi. Ndio kwa maana niko na usuli. Unajua 844 ime-evolve over time. Kuna from ile time ya 700 ikakuja time ya 500. Alafu sasa tukachukuliwa na CBC, the practical nature of it. So ndio kwa maana ninasikia niko na usuni. Na that story is on page 6. Countdown to end 844 as 3 groups sit national exams. So grade 6 pupils sit their first national exams under the 26333 education system.
6333.
Grade 6 pupils sit their first national exams under the 26333 education system. Then next year, the last, watu watazika sasa 844 kabisa.
Uiambia bye.
Ile haitaidusiwa tela.
Labda irudishwe tena hapo sometime miaka mingine ijayo.
Next year, the last 844 candidates will sit standard 8 and form 4 exams. Sasa watu wangu next year watakuwa wala Malaysia 844. Watakuwa wala chala live abo.
hiyo miaka ingine tutakuwa tunaenda memorial.
Tutaanza kuwa na alumni ya watu wa
844.
Kama ulikuwa wa 700 kala watu wako, kama ulikuwa wa 500
kala watu wako. Kama wewe ni wa CBC
pia kala watu wako. Inauma sana. Ndio kwa maana nimesikia roho iko chini kabisa
kwa sababu ya 844
kabisa.
Usijali.
Anyways, just to continue on matters education and matters exams, more than 3.4 million candidates will from today sit 3 separate national examinations that will mark the start of a major transition from the cut-throat test that have been the hallmark of 844 education system. You know, Leo, this is historic because we have 3 different types of candidates doing exams. Unajua mimi nikiwa shule tulikuwa ni sisi tu tunafanya exams. Watu wote wanafukuzwa, wanaambiwa tufungeni shule mwende nyumbani. Tubaki sisi tu magwiji.
Wanafunga Friday after wamewasaidia kuosha desk.
Kuna sisi tulikuwa tunajiosea desk.
Hamkusaidiwa?
Tusaidiwi na nani?
Na si hao wanafunzi wa madarasa yao mengine.
Box yako utajibebea mwenyewe. That is one thing that, you know, as a student or as a pupil, we don't get to understand when you're still studying. But the thing is, in the long run, ile box, watu wakishamaliza examination, ile box unabeba peke yako ukirudi kweli.
Unaenda peke yako.
That's when, you see, they say in English that reality travels slowly, but soon it catches up with you. So that is the time that reality, with its slow travel, caught up with you. Unajua sitaenda na Kamau mahali.
By the way,
nikuulize kwao na bila enda kweli.
Nikuulize saa hizi this year umekutana na wanafunzi wangapi ambao mlisoma nao high school, not even primary, high school?
Me, I'm privileged to know my friends that I was with in nursery.
No, how many have you met with this year?
A lot of them.
You must be very lucky.
We keep in touch. I have friends from nursery. I have friends
from nursery.
Yes, I have friends from primary. I have friends from high school. I have friends from university. So you meet, alafu unajua saizi si kama kitambo. Saizi kuna Facebook, kuna social media platforms where you guys can create a forum where you know what is happening to the other person, which is a very good thing.
But hapo kwa nursery, I think, okay, maybe they must be watching. Wale tulisoma nao nursery, labda watuandikie tu wanikumbushe. Wale tulisoma nao pale Nyataragi Primary School, Nursery School pale Limuru. Waniambie tu ni mimi na kuwatch. So they should tell me nilisahau.
Haina mambo. Wewe ndio sidali wewe, you don't keep in touch, you know.
No, sasa
si unaelewa na watu wako.
Nasema high school ni sawa, primary school some of them ni sawa, but ikifika ni nursery sikumbuki. Nakumbuka tu mwalimu alikuwa anaitwa Teacher Grace.
Hiyo ndio pale mnakutalaga bahali. Unasema mimi unajua, by the way, unajua nikiwa nursery nilisoma shule. Anasema wewe ulisoma shule?
Mwaka gani?
Ulisoma shule? Unakumbuka nani? Wewe unajua nani aje? Mimi nilikuwa ile class. Tulisoma na wewe. You know, that's how it comes, because nursery memory haiwezi kuwa that good.
Yes.
That mimi najua I have like half of watu tuliingia nao class 1.
Mlikuwa the same nursery school?
No. I talk to them till now.
Inyi mko sawa.
Tulienda class 1 tukaachana hapo katikati high school, but we still talk till now. Most of them are parents.
Ni watu tunaonana kwa Facebook.
And just to continue this story about countdown to end of 844 as 3 groups sit national exams. It goes on page on page 6 and 7. And just to break down a little bit of things, today we have an educational segment on our lifestyle segment, but we want to really major on examination, and it starts. Actually,
the examination they are kicking off today. So because I think it is it for class 8 and grade 6, or just for grade 6 only? Because the only exam that I'm sure of is about the KCSE, which will kick off on Friday this week.
See, yeah, all I know is the grade 6 have pupils sit their first national exams today.
Okay.
And I was just about to give you a breakdown that is here on on the standard. And numbers that count: KCPE NEC allowances, center manager will get 2,000 shillings, supervisors earn 2,485, invigilators, nimeorder investigators, sipendi by investigators. Invigilators get 1,615, security officers earn 1,050, and drivers get 1,040. Unajua drivers ndio wanafaa kulipwa pesa bigi sana in terms of allowance.
Why?
How do I make sure exams imefika on time? How do wanajua terrain wanatumia ili kwame? Sasa they are the first people who should be paid a lot.
But I think unaona
the center manager.
No, center manager anafaa lipo because center manager hiyo exam haiwezi toka kwenye inatoka kama center manager yuko. Haiwezi funguliwa kama center manager yuko.
Inafika aje hapo hata kabla ya kufunguliwa kwa
driver without a center manager, driver hawezi beba those exams. Actually yeye kazi yake ni kwa steering, but if anything happens the center manager ni ataulizwa.
Okay.
And in this case the center managers are the head teachers, the principals, hao ndio wamesimamia. Yes.
Okay. And moving on, KCSE NEC allowances. That is supervisors in Nairobi and Mombasa will receive 695 per supervisor from their regions and 630 per day. Invigilators in Nairobi and Mombasa will receive 580 per day. Invigilators from other regions will receive 460 per day. Then secondary school principals will receive 500 shillings per day. Security officers will receive 420 per day, and drivers will receive 405. That is in Nairobi and Mombasa. And December 2022 exams schedule, that is KCP dates, will be November 28th to November 30th. That is from
today.
From today till 30th. That is KCP dates. Then number of candidates that are doing the KCP, we are 1,244,188 candidates. Just moving on, KPSEA, that is from November 28th to 30th, 2022. Number of candidates is 1,287,597. KCSE dates December 2nd till the 23rd. And the number of candidates that are doing the KCSE are 884,263 nationwide. And candidates are, sorry, let me take that back. Number of candidates is 884,263. And 3.4 million number of candidates who will sit 3 sets of exams from today, marking the start of major transition from 844 to 2633 education system under the competency-based curriculum. So we have a total of 3.4 students, and we wish you luck and success in your exams as you start today.
Yeah, success to all our dear brothers and sisters who are sitting for those exams.
Na unajua Peter.
Yes.
Always si ati nimeolea watu wa Nakuru. Watu wa Nakuru busili biscuit. Lakini Nakuru, they never cease to make news.
Nakuru tuko sawa.
Nakuru lazima
wa
make news, that is, I don't know, but anyways.
I think I need to get in touch with the journalists from Nakuru.
Anyways, still
what happened in Nakuru?
It's still in Nakuru. Parents cry foul as pupils registered in another school. Unajua kuna zile shule zingine wanasema wanatafuta parent ameleta mtoto kwa hiyo shule, unasikia aliregistiwa sijui shule gani kile. Watu wa Nakuru wamepatikana.
Uko na nia mbaya na watu wa Nakuru wewe.
Iko kwa gazeti. It's on page 7 of the Standard, and their parents here crying foul that as pupils registered in another school, like walipeleka mtoto kwa hii shule. Alafu walapata wako kwa shule ingine wako registered in a different school. So parents at Victornell Academy in Nakuru County have threatened to sue the school for registering their children for KCPE exams in a different institution. The parents claim the management of the institution has 2 schools and they registered the candidates in separate schools depending on their academic strength. Hiyo ndio kitu nilikuwa nasema. Sasa hiyo ndio kitu nilikuwa nasema.
That is so bad. Hata kama watu wanaguru. Najaribu kuwatetea hapa na nyinyi mnaendelea tu kuniangusha. Najaribu kuonyesha venye mko sawa, mnaendelea kuniangusha because such kind of behavior wakati kitu kama hichi kinafanyika, it is not kind of a thing. It is not a good move actually. Ati kwa sababu mtoto wako number 1 hadi number 5 wanachukuliwa wanapelekwa different school. Wale wa ile shule nyingine wanaletwa just because ati wame
the reason walimu wanafanyaga hivyo ni kuongeza mean score. Sasa kama mtoto yeye pengine wanachukua top 20 by class out of pengine wako 40, wanachukua wale top 20 wanawaregister to this kind of school. Wanachuenda kwa ile shule nyingine wanaangalia wale wanafanya bidii kabisa, wanawachukua
wanaleta kwa different
wanaleta kwa hii shule. Alafu wale hawasikii, wale slow lalas
wanawekwa pamoja.
Slow lalas wanawekwa pamoja juu watagusa bill grade ya shule, which is very wrong. Please, watu ya Nakuru, watu wa Nakuru, please don't do that. If umekuwa ukichukua fee kama head teacher, umechukua fee for
and this must be a private school
for the longest time you've been taking the parents have been paying fee there. Wamevalisha mtoto hiyo uniform ya hiyo shule for the longest time. Akienda kufanya mtihani anafanya in another school. You are even messing with that kid's psychology. He or she is not in the right state of mind of doing things. Why his or her friends are on this other school and she's being taken to another school? It's kind of stigmatization.
Yeah, demotivating this kind of this child, especially how wako nyuma wamepelekwa in a different school atu wamekuwa pamoja. It seems they are demotivated. They are demotivated. Demotivate, yes. So, and if it happens to to those students in such manner, it means that hawa wanafunzi watajichukia wenyewe. Watajichukia and it is so sad actually.
And just to highlight the plea or the plight of the lady or the parents in Nakuru, there's Miss Maureen Mayeko. One of the parents said she learned of the development by accident. It is so bad that parents have to learn this by accident. Because she says, Miss Mayeko said she had gone to pick her daughter who is a candidate. However, she said she found her wearing a different uniform. Unajua unaweza piga mtoto kabisa useme kwali lilikuleta isule bolo na bai ya isule igile. Lili baya la wewe. Uliaba shule. Kumbe it is not her fault. It's the school's fault. So, when she asked why, her daughter told her that she will not sit her exams in the school. Instead, her name has been moved to Langa Primary Child School. So my daughter told me they were transported to the other school on Thursday for rehearsals. She said that in the bus, they were forced to exchange uniform with pupils of other schools, said by Yeko. Just as I was telling you, this is criminal. This is so sad.
This is so sad.
This should not happen. Every child is given a platform. Every child is given an opportunity to showcase what they have. But you cannot discriminate a kid because of their performance. We are not the same, and the diversity of life is the difference. The beauty of life is the diversity. You see your fingers and they're not equal, so why would you want an equal kind of treatment in that kind of manner, you know?
Yeah.
It is not fair that you treat others unfairly. Give them an equal opportunity. And despite the fact that they're not in the same speed of grasping whatever it is that they're learning, does not give the head teachers a chance to discriminate these children.
Yeah.
Yes, because the mental health of those children now is disturbed. Imagine you going to school in the morning. Then mid-morning, you're told you're going for rehearsals elsewhere. You leave your friends on this other end. And in the bus, you exchange uniforms. Now you are from a different school. Who does that? That is very criminal. In fact, that is very criminal.
It is criminal because
I think the county government should be looking at it or something.
Yeah, and even the Office of the Education and the Office of the... Yeah, that deals with matters to do with education. So wanafaa waingilia kati so that these students may get their rights. Okay, on another story here,
And still on that story,
Yeah.
there are so many parents that are complaining, not just one. And there's Jacqueline Mudhoni.
From the same school.
No, there's still Mayeko said the school had transferred 16 students, 13 to Happy Child and 3 to Flamingo Primary School without a consent of their parent, which is very wrong. Jacqueline Mudhoni, another parent, said the news which she got through a WhatsApp chat shocked her. My son was crying when he was forced to exchange uniform with a stranger. I prepared him for the examination by making sure I pay fees in time, and this is how they repay me, said Mudhoni. She wants the examination stopped and the school directed to ensure people sit their exams and receive results from the same school. So I think...
for the case of this young man here, this boy here, this child, do you really think that he can have a peace of mind while sitting for the exams? How will it even affect the results? Yeah, the final results, because
it will affect the final
results.
Yes, it will affect the final results. Psychologically, they've really played with the kid. For you to cry and give your uniform to a stranger, what are the terms? As a kid, you were thinking, what will my mom say? How will I go back home in this uniform? What do I have to explain? How do I even start? Why am I even here in the first place? Why are my friends not here yet? So it is a thing, and I think they reached out to Victornell Academy head teacher, that is Ibrahim Ogany, through a phone call, and Ogany neither confirmed nor denied the accusation. He said he had no comment and would get back to the Standard once he had anything to report. I don't think he has anything to report, though.
He has nothing to
because
report.
The parents have come out and the evidence is vivid that this thing has been happening.
And the law should take its course.
And the law should take its course, despite the fact that we know right now the exams are starting. So
actually, they have kicked off today, this morning.
So I don't know how that will work out. They have to do their papers so that they move to the next level of education. So we don't know how it works, but we are pleading to the county government of Nakuru to check on that and ensure that that is a malpractice that should not happen. And what are the reasons or the grounds of them doing that?
Yeah. On another story, as we move on, it is a call launched Kenyans fight against doping. This might raise hope for avoiding ban, but the situation is still DC. So this is all about the anti-doping. Remember, it's something that we have been talking about our Kenyan athletics, whereby they have been doping, but currently they have there is such a thing to caution the doping. So that story it is on page 3 of the Daily Nation, and on the page 4, it is all about the elections. You remember that we have some by-elections in within the nation, after some people or leaders being elected to, appointed to various positions, like we have Kandara. We have Kandara here in Murang'a County, whereby the MP for Kandara, that is Alice Wahome, was appointed to be the CS for water and irrigation. And also in Marakwet, we have Kipchumba Murkomen, who is a senator there, who was appointed to be the CS for transport and infrastructure. And we find that here IEBC to conduct mini pods in Elgeyo Marakwet, Bungoma, Kandara and Garissa Township. And Kipsang and Juguna clinched UDA tickets for Marakwet and Kandara. So that is former Marakwet MP William Kipsang aliweza kujishindia tiketi ya UDA kuweza kuwa senator wa pale katika eneo ama katika kaunti ya Marakwet, Elgeyo Marakwet, that is yeah. So and in Kandara we find that the person mwenye aliwin, it is Mr. Chege Njoguna. Yeye ndiye aliweza kushinda ili akaweza kuingia katika kinyang'anyiro cha ubunge pale katika eneo bunge.
Alifanya nini?
Aliweza kushinda.
Alifanya nini?
Alishinda.
Alifanya nini?
Alishinda.
Tumia hiyo wadu litumia
kinyang'anyiro. Nilijua tu. I knew it. That story is on page 4 of the Daily Nation. Hawa ni wale wakusema enemies of progress.
Just moving on. Sijasema chochote mimi, mpenzi mtazamaji. I didn't say anything. Nikisema huwa sipendi sana kuongea Kiswahili. Bula liambia
Kwani inafaa kuwa nini?
Ni
Kinyanga what?
Sema baleza.
Sisemi tena.
Kwa Kiswahili ninapojua bibi kama Mswahili navodumba la kulumba ni kwamba kinyang'anyiro.
Nimesema nini?
Ako katika kinyang'anyiro.
Ngoja, nimesema nini?
Kinyang'anyiro. Umesema nini?
Kinyang'anyiro. Kinyang'anyiro.
Usirudie tena wewe. Anyways, Mudavadi clashes with CS over maize imports. Prime Cabinet Secretary says order to import maize should have originated from the Ministry of Agriculture, not trade. Notes that importation should be guided by a survey to establish if there is a deficit. So, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has said importation of maize should be shelved until the Ministry of Agriculture takes stock of the grain harvest the country to establish if there will be a deficit. So, Mr. Mudavadi maintains that the order of import maize should be guided by a survey by the Ministry of Agriculture to find out if there is a deficit of grains. That is a policy that must be well canvassed. It is the agriculture docket that will issue an importation order after looking at the food situation in the country, said Mudavadi. So Trade, Investment and Industry Cabinet Secretary CS Moses Kuria kicked off the storm recently when he said the government will allow importation of 10 million bags of duty-free genetic modified crops and non-GMO maize for the next 6 months. So that Mr. Kuria said the move was meant to address the biting food shortage. So this is what the Prime Cabinet Secretary says. Order to import maize should have originated from the agriculture docket that will issue the importation order after looking at the food situation in the country. Which in a way I don't know what do you think about that, because now the headlines that are making this story was on the front page and they said same cabinet, different maize scripts.
I think it seems as if they don't read from the same script, but they are reading differently. Everybody has his or her own opinion concerning such matters to do with agriculture. And you remember that last year there was an ongoing discussion concerning the GMO, the GM maize. So whereby the farmers have been complaining that the government will first buy their produce before they go for the GM, before they import. And we find that on the same note, this whereby the CS, the cabinet, and I told Prime CS, Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Kuria. So everybody has his or her own opinion. And I think the government should come up with one conclusion. Yeah. And I think that's why Moses Kuria, the CS for Trade and Industries, has mentioned something, has given a 72 hours notice to the farmers to release to sell maize where to sell maize within 72 hours. Otherwise, the government will release the 10 million imported bags of maize. So, and it is a story that I do still have it on the page, on page 10 of the Daily Nation concerning the CS Moses Kuria. So I think on matters to do with the food shortage in Kenya, it is something that really requires a lot of address, and people should caution it. And I think because there is something that the government is still doing, and there was according to the government interventions, it seems as if over 5 million people by next year, they'll be highly affected. And that's what we shall be discussing later on in the next segment concerning the shortage of food in Kenya and what the government is trying to do to curb the situation. Yes. And
still on that issue, the same story is on page 8 of the Day Standard. Then this is what they have to say. Trade Cabinet Secretary CS Moses Kuria's directive to have farmers sell their maize within 72 hours has elicited protests, with producers claiming they are being intimidated. So the farmers also questioned the loud silence of agriculture CS Mithika Lunturi on the maize saga, which has also threatened the unity of governing United Democratic Alliance and her coalition partners. So yesterday, a section of farmers from Uasin Gishu said the ultimatum amounted to harassment of food producers who toiled with high inputs and operational costs to achieve the current harvest, which is very, very true at the moment. And they continue saying that there is nothing wrong with the state importing the produce, but it should consider exhausting local produce. The CS has given a directive that we sell the produce, but stores at the National Cereals and Produce Board (NCPB) are closed. They have not opened stores. Whom do we sell to? Why is the government so committed to import and not buying local produce? Postborn, who is a farmer. So that story continues. It's on page 8. It continues there. You can grab a copy of your standard and look at it.
Then there is something here concerning the building of the pipeline and the tough building regulations in the pipeline. This is whereby tough regulations developed by the National Construction Authority, that is NCA, aimed at curbing the frequent collapse of buildings are ready and just waiting MP's approval. So this is whereby the regulations have been developed by the National Construction Authority, that is NCA, concerning the some cases that we have been having. We have been experiencing some cases concerning the collapsing of buildings. So in a manner to calm this situation, they have set some laws which will be followed, and the government, the MPs, they are the one who are being waited to approve. So I think it is a good move to save our lives from the hands of those selfish people and greedy people who really who kills people in the name of having long building. Yes.
Just to move on the story we were talking about, the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. There's a story on page 10 of the Standard, and it said, most dangerous place for women is home. UN report now reveals. Most dangerous place for women is home. And that is a UN report that reveals that. Now, before I even take you, I'm thinking, home, nyumbani, mahali unafaa kwa ni villa yako. Say place of safe haven, place yako ya kurudi na kutulia, is the most dangerous for our women.
Where should they go? Or even where should they to have their time to refresh their minds? And even
I think it's because domestic violence is commonly viewed as a private family matter. You know, so most of this act happens at home. It is between the two, you know. Ile kitu wanasema wapenda nao usiingilie babu yao, wapenda nao usiingilie kati yao wawili. You know, at times we leave it at that, and it gets worse. So I don't think mapenzi si kuwana, mapenzi ni kupenda.
I think sasa hapa ni pale kuna kitu huwa ananiambia mara kwa mara hapa hivi asubuhi, na nimeanza kuamini. We are always, kuna kitu huwa ananiambia concerning the mambo na mapenzi.
Yes, ninakwambiaga kila siku that when you were born, your brain works vizuri kabisa. Brain inafanya vizuri until
you fall in love.
You fall in love. Na unajua kumbe brain yako iliwachana. Kuna waya iliwachana kabisa. Inafanya vizuri ukifika hapo.
Okay, fall in love.
But
Kwisha.
Umebalisika.
I think
so it still says more than half of the total number of women killings last year worldwide were by their husbands. That is
more
so
than
sad.
half.
More than half of the total number of women killings last year worldwide were by their husbands, partners, or other relatives.
Is it a motivation to us youths and young girls? Kama nyumbani ndio wanauliwa, why should they even be getting married? Because I think this one inaongeza uoga kwa our sisters, our daughters. No.
I think right now love is a constant, you know. Everyone has love. It just depends where your love is. There are people who have love for money. There are people who have love for God. There are people who have love for drugs. There are people who love politics. There's just that one thing that sweeps you off your feet, you know, and you are kind of connected to it in some way. Even no matter how iron fist you tend to be, there's that one thing that drops you. So you'd rather choose what drops you in terms of love. There are people who have love for music. There are people who have love for, and it is intense. It is like more of addiction or something. But it also happens that matters of love. And as I tell you, your badalo ya love ati, when you are born until the day you fall in love, akili yako ilaruka kabisa. It's because you start measuring on the minors, you know. If you're in love, the bigger things don't really occur to you. But these small things are the ones that, bona hukusika simu yangu nimekupigia mara 3, bona huja reply by text, you know, such small things. We end up losing.
Bona hukuweka chumvi kwa chakula unataka nijiongezee.
We end up losing lives for no good reason, for things we can be. I think now that we are talking about GBV, the counselors and the guiders should come out, mostly the counselors should come out and tell the public on because the generations have changed, and the problems that were there then and the problems that are there now are not the same. And the generations that were then and now are not the same. This generation is coming up with a lot of influence from the social media platforms. So it happens that wanajua mingi saidi by the time, at a very young age, by the time wanafika pali wanafaa kuwa like maybe 18, they've already exploited all the avenues they need to exploit. So you find it is very devastating for them themselves, the mental status, and now the economy, the food security and whatever is going on around us makes it hard for life to go on peacefully. So I think in a way we should find a way out through this, and I hope we'll be able to be activists for these 16 days against the gender-based violence.
I think because I have the same story on page 12 of the Daily Nation about the 16 days of activism against GBV, that is gender-based violence, and you find that new guidelines to improve Homa Bay response to GBV. So this is Homa Bay, and I can see a good picture here of women protesting against the GBV, and we find that the county and stakeholders develop referrals, document and map to guide victims as they seek assistance. So, and I think this is a good move, whereby that they have developed that referrals, documents, and map to guide victims. So, whereby people will be guided. Anybody who have been affected, in a victim of GBV. So, in a victim of GBV has a place where they'll be reporting and seek assistance. And we find that devolved unit listed among those with cases of gender-based violence above the national average. Since the advent of devolution decade ago, Homa Bay County has made little progress in addressing sexual and gender-based violence. It has done just a little. But now it is improving on such. And facts about 16 days of GBV. There is a fact here. They say that statistics shows that women and girls are subjected to many forms of human rights violations solely on the basis of their gender. Reason again, women and girls are subjected to many forms of human rights violations solely on the gender.
Hiyo naweza kupaliana nayo juu excuse me. Najua watu, najua kuna Wanauzaga magari pale mimi wanapeleka gari yangu pale. Wanauzaga magari.
Yes.
Sasa wakiuza magari wananiambia unajua kilabu kuuza magari ni ngumu sana. Gari kama hizo. Nakwambia kuuza gari hapa ni ngumu sana. Kwa sababu wasichana wanaenda client anachukua gari au ni kama broker.
Yes.
Between the owner of the car na the buyer wako katika. Sasa buyer anafaa kumpa kitu kidogo. Owner pia anampea kitu kidogo. Unapata buyer na owner wanamruka katikati just on the basis
anapotelea tu hapo
of her gender, which is very very wrong. Very wrong kabisa. And still on that GBV, there's a meltdown or breakdown of violence. So as I was telling you, more than 5 women and girls were killed in every hour by a relative in 2021. Were killed every hour by a relative. By a
more
relative.
Than 5.
By a relative in 2022. The word has come to us where you cannot trust anyone with your daughter, or because even the relatives do things that you don't really expect to them. We've had stories last week. We were talking about stories of people being defiled and raped by their own fathers, by their own pastors, by their own teachers. What has the world come to right now? So these are the numbers, and they're very serious.
1 hour, 5 people are being killed by their relatives. So it means
that is approximately 45,000 girls were killed globally by their intimate partners or other family members, including fathers, mothers, uncles, and brothers. This is a UN report. This is a UN report. This is a UN study on femicide. Let me just take that back. It is a UN story on femicide that has revealed dates. The report depicts or gruesome reality most danger in their homes, where they live with their close relatives and intimate partners. According to the report, global estimates of gender-related killings of women and girls, Private Sphere 2021, published on Wednesday, said 45,000 women and girls, more than half at 56%, 81,100 murdered last year worldwide, were killed by their husbands, partners, or other relatives. So just let me continue because of matters of time.
And I think it is worrying because if, we usually say that east or west,
how is best?
But for now, who is the worst for our sisters?
Now, approximately 45,000 women and girls were killed globally by their intimate partners or other family members, including fathers, mothers, uncles, and brothers. This means that around 56% of the estimated total of 81,100 female homicide victims recorded in 2021 were killed by someone in their own family. How sad is that? How sad? It's very sad. It's very sad. Asia recorded the highest number of female cases at 17,800 female intimate partner family related killings in 2021, followed by Africa. Wasungu wana hizi kesi sana.
Africa
wasungu najua wanakosa.
The first country umesema ni Asia. That is the continent.
Asia, the continent.
Then Africa.
And we have Africa, which has a number of 17,200. Then America's an estimate of 7,000. Look at the difference. Unajua wasungu wakiambia watoto wao, go sit in the corner and think about what you've done. Uko nyumbani upiga wewe na unajua coffee side wala kutua takupiga wewe unakula
shawekelewa coffee.
So now you see if you look at the difference between Asia, that stands at a number of 17,800, followed by Africa, that's still at 17,200. Then you come back to Africa, which has an estimate of 7,500. You see,
So there is
7,500 women and girls were killed by their intimate partners or other family members in 2021. That is America. While Europe recorded 2,500 and Oceanic record 300.
I think if there should be given, if it were to be given a reward, the Europeans, they could have been rewarded.
I think it's not more rampant to them as it is in Asia and Africa.
Okay. So as we move forward, we'll now move on to the cartoon, as I usually tell you. Na kwa hii cartoon leo, it is a place, it is a very dark place. Kile kitu ambacho naona hapa hivi, it is a power wire cables. Zile posts za stima, ndizo tu ninaona hapa hivi. Then there is an engineer here, you know, akona helmet ya yellow na ile logo ya Kenya Power. So and this engineer ameshika a candle kwa sababu kuna no power, kuna power shortage, so wako kwa blackout, that is ameshika candle. So on the other side ameshika higher power bills, ni bill, ni karatasi ameshika inaonyesha higher power bills. So you can just imagine here someone who works in the Kenya Power, yeye ndiye ameshika candle kusema hakuna mwangaza.
And it is by the way, we've been experiencing a lot of recent past. I think there was a problem with that, but we hope that they found a way of restoring that. So still on disturbing news that I always talk about, and every day I always find this disturbing news around the newspaper, you know, and it hurts my heart. As a parent, it hurts my heart. As a Kenyan, it hurts my heart that our men that we trust with our children end up defiling our children. You remember we talked about defilement last time.
Yes.
We didn't even have too much time to expound on it. But there is a story here on the Standard on page 10. And took off when I became pregnant. Teenager, 17 years, says he defiled me and took off when I became pregnant. That's a teenager that is 17 years. Now I think she's seeing her friends go to school, and it is saddening because she's called Linet Akinyi. Linet Akinyi stares into space and appears to be in deep thought as a group of students walk past her home on their way home from school. She wipes drips of sweat with a scarf off her forehead as she nurses her 5-month-old son. At 17 years old, she is the age mate of most, but they remain worlds apart due to her current situation. Akinyi is already a young mother after she was defiled by a border rider, while the others are pursuing their dream in school. She was at, now let me just see what really happened. She was at Ruanjinji Chiefs Camp in South Sub County in Homa Bay. Nilikwambia Homa Bay, Nakuru County, diversa hapa kidogo. Tuboa sana kwa hizi kaseti zetu.
Sasa lazima ungekuwa tena.
And she says, during the launch of this year's 16th days of activism against gender-based violence, when the Standard team caught up with her. So Akinyi at first hesitated to speak, but when she eventually opened up, it was easy to read the pain in her voice and the tears she wiped every so often. Last year, she was a pupil at primary school, the outskirts of Oyugi's town in Rachunya South, but more carried by her fellow pupils and difficulties orchestrated by her pregnancy made her stop going to school. Her world turned upside down last year when a border operator lured her to his house and defiled her. Despite being a minor, the border operator would secretly prey on her and defile her after enticing her with gifts. So that is the same thing we were talking about last time when I asked you. There are kind of defilements where you find there's consent between the two of them.
Yes.
And we ruled out that as long as you're under 18, you don't have the privilege of consent. You know.
Yes.
As long as you're under 18, you don't have the privilege of consent. Even if you go to hospital and you're under 18, you'll be asked to bring a guardian or someone who's over 18 to consent on whatever is going to happen to you. So, but there are those that are consented, like you remember the case of Hussein, where he was released after a while because there was a consent between the both of them. Yeah. And now here is someone primary. She's 17 years old, and someone takes advantage of her, and it's a border rider that lures her with gifts. I told you, it takes a lot before you look at this just kind of problem. You see, she's been lured by gifts, maybe free lifts, maybe lunch money, you know. So these are the kind of things that really happen, and they really disturb us because we cannot have control over everything. Yeah.
Because I think it is not, that is as I said last time, it is not the fault or even the failure of a parent, but at times it is all about children, because sometimes they feel they decide to make their own decisions just because this person is giving you money, giving you such kind of gifts. And let me tell my young sisters here who are in primary school and high school, kama unataka kukula pesa vizuri za mwanaume, kama unataka kukula pesa za mwanaume vizuri, kula za babako. Kabisa. Only that one.
Do you know in Tanzania, there was a story I read. I don't know how true that is, but they said if a lady is asking you for money, that was from the president herself. She said if a lady is asking you for money and she's not your woman, she's not your wife, you can report to them.
Kenya.
In Kenya, we had a case where someone was reimbursed by the court his money after a lady allegedly alikula fare. Wakapelekana koti na mzee akasita. Akasita hiyo delay.
Ni koti gani ya mini?
Wewe tuba pea kwanza wakule alafu ndio wewe unaenda na ula kesi.
Unajua aje?
Tu au la kesi.
Unajua aje? Anyway, on the same note, there is a letter of the day here inasema protect violence. Not only women, but we have to protect even our men, because unapata ya kwamba there are those one who are being sodomized. Kuna wale wengine bado wanapigwa. Unajua sasa shida yetu wanaume ni kwamba sasa tuseme nimekuja hapa nimepigwa. Na wife. So nikikuja hapo utaona niko na alama pande hii. Na ni pasi nilichoma na pasi. Nitawaambia nilianguka jana usiku nikiwa mlevi, ama nimeanguka kwa bafu asubuhi nikioga. So that is the, but general unapata ya kwamba this is kind of a gender violence. So some assaults, insults that men face, and you know it is worrying because we as men, we don't speak up. What we tend to wacha nikufe tu
mwanaume,
lakini ukiingia kwa nyumba ile kukanyago unakanyagwa
ni noma
mbaya
zaidi. Unajua mwanaume kukua ukubwa mwanaume huko nje wewe, it is what I know is you might be a person of substance in the streets. People might not connect with you. People might not be, you might not be the people's favorite. But all I know, when you get back to your home, you should be treated like a king.
Yes.
Because you're the king, you're the president of that house. You should be treated like a king. No matter what. You're running your obligations in that house, no matter what. As long as that is your unit. You know, it's like a lion having its pride. He's the king, whether he comes back, whether he comes with the meat or he come with the meat, he's still the king, you know.
Yes.
And respect is paramount. It's constant. And that's how it should be in our families here. That we are able to, when a man gets back to his home, he is given the respect, the treatment that is accorded to him as a man, despite his endeavors, despite his misfortunes or his fortunes that come with it. Because life is a two-way traffic.
Yes.
And it's, if wewe ni mwanaume na unanisikia sahi na uko kwa relationship ambayo unapigwa,
unaambiwa pesa zote zenye umepata leo tupia
sijui lazima ufiche pesa zako kwa socks ndio bibi yako asipate, wachana kapesa. Look for something else.
You know, there is a story that always circulates on the social medias about this man, this churcher. So there was a couple conference somewhere, and a pastor wanaume, wale wanaume wote huwa mnachapwa na wake zenu, this side, na wale ambao huwa mchapui remain on this side. So wote wakamove, is only one man alibaki hapo. So this one man mwenye alibaki hapo akaulizwa na pastor, hebu tuambie siri yenye unatumia usichapwe na mke wako, kwa sababu wengine wote tunaona wanachapwa. Do you know this man? He responded and said that amenifungia jicho akaniambia nijaribu niseme huwa ananipiga. Tuonane jioni.
Jioni unakulwa viboko kabisa. Utakulwa viboko. And somewhere because we're running out of time, patience, joy as hospital gets blood culture equipment. That is previously St. Luke's Orthopedic and Trauma Hospital blood culture machine will help doctors establish disease-causing organisms in blood within a short time. Previously, samples would be taken to South Africa for processing. Now, new automated machines to reduce the time patients spend at the doctor's office. That is an Eldoret-based level 5 hospital that has acquired a modern microbiology automated machine as an antimicrobial awareness week came to a close on Friday. And still talking on matters, there's a special report here, as we told you, apart from the GBV. Courts face uphill battle to restore Nairobi River and curb pollution. That is also a special report that is on the Standard. Attempts to restore the river that flows into the Indian Oceans have bore little fruit. So yeah, a year has passed since the government was ordered to clean Nairobi River from its source. So it shall file a report in court every 4 months, showing measures it has taken to ensure River Athi is rid of pollutant. And I think that's a good thing. Kama vijana watapata kasi kutoa takataka hapo nini. So I think it's a good initiative if the government can work towards it, because we are late by a year.
Yes. And then we find another story here. It is all about county news, whereby in Mombasa, Kisauni, our tax our interviews Kisauni gang member says, and even have voted to wipe out the menace. These whereby people are being attacked by a certain gang known as Wakali Kwanza. It is a gang in Mombasa, Kisauni, and whereby we find that gang members Kisauni, while others use the area as a hideout. And it is something that should be, maybe the government should come on board and make sure that it curbs this situation, because it seems as if in our nation we have so many gangs forming. Yanajitengeneza, yanajiunga, such that to terrorize people in various places. Unaingia place fulani unapata kuna this kind of gang inajiita sijui gang what. Sasa kama hii huko Mombasa, huko Kisauni unapata inajiita Wakali Kwanza. I think the government now itakuwa kali zaidi.
Yep. And there's a story here on page 14. Starving 30 CPE candidates appeal. Starving Tiati KCP candidates appeal for relief food as test starts. Unajua kula kitu baya kama kukaja. And on matters rugby 7's team begs funds ahead of Tony. That is, they have a tournament that is coming. Things are not so rosy with the national 7's rugby men's team, that is Shuja. And Belgium, Spain as Morocco gain. Yes, that was yesterday's game. And you'll have more of the sports stories with Sporting Oviasi. But that has been our time on...
Before tuende break, mimi unajua kuna haja uwe kila wakati ni kusema mabaya ya Nakuru. I have a good report about Nakuru. Here there is a photo of standard 8 and grade 6 candidates at St. Clair Primary School in Elbagon, Nakuru County. Take a selfie after prayers on November 18. Examination for the 2 classes start today. Wapicha wakipiga selfie.
Sina maoni. Anyways, as I was saying, that has been our time on the newspaper review. That is our first segment. But we'll be back with more stories on our next segment. Keep it locked, keep it tuned.
Watching DAESAK TV, the cradle of goodness. You are watching DAESAK TV, the cradle of goodness. You are watching DAESAK TV, the cradle. You are watching DAESAK TV, the cradle of goodness. You are watching DAESAK TV, the cradle of goodness.
Congratulations! You have done a great job. You have made a high quality product. Your service is excellent. Now it's time to tell the customer about it in a crystal clear manner. Leave no doubt in the mind of your customer. Advertise and successfully connect with your customer. Text or call us on 0724 121 812. We are vibrant and our rate card is gentle on your pocket. Your success is our success. DAESAK TV, the cradle of goodness.
Je, ungependa kuwa shupavu katika operesheni za mashine kubwa ama heavy machineries? Njoo Kilimambogo Highways Building and Technology, shule iliyotambulika na nje ya Kenya. Njoo usome courses kama plant operator and driving, training na nyinginezo. Tuma application kupitia simu online ama ututembelee Thika Garissa Road, Ogoga Stage. Kilimambogo Highways Building and Technology. Tingatinga is the thing.
Hadithi huhadithiwa, vitendawili huchaguliwa, ni simulizi husimuliwa. Wapo watu ambao mambo waliyofanya sharti lazima yatambuliwe. Wengine waliupigania uhuru, lakini na ndio maana kipindi cha The Patriots kitakuletea mashujaa hawa ili kwamba uweze kufahamu historia zao, maisha yao yalivyokuwa na mambo muhimu zaidi walioyafanya katika maisha yetu ya sasa. Mimi naitwa Faye Nzai. Na hapa DAESAK TV tunakuomba wewe ukaweze nikuletee yale mambo ambayo yanakuhusu wewe sana, mambo ya historia. Usibonyeze kidude, tazama tu.
Mechuke Technical Training Institute is a government-funded institution. It was started way back in 1956 as a youth center. We have a population of 4,500 as of 5th September 2022. We have several courses. In electrical, artisan, we have craft, we have diploma. In building, we have artisan, we have craft, we have diploma.
In IM department, we have different sections. We have food and beverage, catering and accommodation. We also have fashion and design, hairdressing and beauty, science, preservation and processing, general agriculture, analytical chemistry, and also baking technology.
As ICT department, we have two courses. One is a diploma course, that is diploma in ICT, and the other one is craft in ICT.
We boast over 200 computers that assist them be able to browse and do related courses and studies in ICT. When it comes to mechanical workshop, ICT workshop, food and beverage workshop, you find we have latest equipment that enable them to relate well with the world of work. So in total, we have 5 main departments. The entry behavior is important to know that for an artisan course, the students ought to be having a D-. The craft course, the cadets should have a D and above. The diploma, any course, the students have a minimum of a C+, a C- and above. Those standards developed by KCD for and on behalf of consumption by the public.
This we are a center of excellence, and we have a number of examination board examine. We have Kenya National Examination Council. We have the National Industrial Training Authority, which is referred to as NITA, and we also have
fees chargeable is 420 by the parent. However, that is not inclusive of the exam given by either NITA or NEC. The government pays 30,000 per year per student who joins and has fulfilled the requirements of being admitted. You can divide that into 2 or divide that into 3. The government funded us about 20. You are given equipment on we are teaching food science and agriculture. In that area, we have the first group that did the exams on the one last year. We have a limited class now.
When a student comes from Michuki, he or she is able to operate the dairy processing machines and also the meat processing machines, and also carry all the microbiological, the chemical analysis, and the physical analysis of food that's required in food industry.
We have adequate workshops for all the courses that you offer, and right now we have more space than the number of runners that are in the institution. That we are projected to go to 8,000 because of the space.
wanted to pursue building technology because there are more job opportunities outside and it is marketable. This course is not only meant for men, it's even opened for ladies. You cannot only be a civil engineer, you can be a quantity surveyor, whereby you estimate and record the materials which are going to be used in the construction of our building. What we are taught in class by our teachers of Meteorology Institute, it's helping, which are going to help me by putting an hardware where I'll keep tools that are going to be used in construction, cement, blocks and bricks, and such.
One of the best things that we are known for is that we are environment for running inclusive, where we are situated. Before you decide your son, daughter, your child or any other, think about Michoke first. You should not be disappointed. We shall give you value for your money. And back a woman who will be dependent on herself, not you any longer.
Michoke Technical Training Institute is the place to be.
Raundi hii usiachwe nyuma. Smart Choice is giving you a chance to win up to 100k in cash prize, 10k in daily bonus for 5 people and other giveaways. To play, go to M-Pesa, paybill number 973737. 50 bob only. The more you play, the higher the chance. Smart Choice, your caring friend. Over 18 only. Gaming can be addictive. Play responsibly. This draw is approved under the BCLB number 002738.
Are watching DAESAK TV, the cradle of goodness.
Congratulations, you have done a great job. You have made a high quality product. Your service is excellent. Now it's time to tell the customer about it in a crystal clear manner. Leave no doubt in the mind of your customer. Advertise with us and successfully connect with your customer. Text or call us on 0724 121 812. We are vibrant and our rate card is gentle on your pocket. Your success is our success. DAESAK TV, the cradle of goodness.
Je, ungependa kuwa shupavu katika operesheni za mashine kubwa ama heavy machineries? Njoo Kilimambogo Highways Building and Technology, shule iliyotambulika viwandani, humu nchini na nje ya Kenya. Njoo kama plant operator and driving, instructors training, stone cutting, borehole drilling training na nyinginezo. Tuma application kupitia simu, online ama ututembelee Thika Garissa Road, Kilimambogo Highways Building and Technology. Tingatinga is the thing.
Hadithi huhadithiwa, vitendawili huteguliwa, simulizi husimuliwa. Watu ambao mambo walioyafanya sharti lazima yatambuliwe. Wengine waliupigania uhuru, lakini wengine maisha yao yanatufunza mengi. Na ndio maana kipindi cha The Patriots, shujaa hawa, ili kwamba uweze kufahamu historia zao, jinsi maisha yao yalivyokuwa na mambo muhimu zaidi walioyafanya katika maisha yetu ya sasa. Mimi naitwa Faith Nzai. Na hapa DAESAK TV tunakuomba wewe ukaweze kuungana nasi ili kwamba nikuletee yale mambo ambayo yanakuhusu wewe sana, mambo ya historia. Usibonyeze kidude, tazama tu DAESAK TV.
Michuki Technical Training Institute is a government-funded institution. It started way back in 1956 as a youth center. We have a population of 4,500 as of 5th September 2022. We have several courses. In electrical, we have artisan, we have craft diploma. In building, we have artisan, we have craft, we have diploma.
In IM department, we have different sections. We have food and beverage, catering and accommodation. We also have fashion and design, hairdressing and beauty, food science, preservation and processing, general agriculture, analytical chemistry, and also baking technology.
As ICT department, we offer 2 courses. One is a diploma course, that is diploma in ICT, and the other one is craft in ICT.
We boast over 200 computers that assist them be able to browse and do related courses and studies in ICT. When it comes to mechanical workshop, ICT workshop, food and beverage workshop, find we have equipment well. So in total we have 5 main departments. The entry behavior is important to know that for the students ought to be having a D-, like a D and above. The diploma, any course, the students should have a minimum of a C+, a C- and above. Those studies are not by Michuki Technical. They in the syllabus developed by KICD for and on behalf by the public.
In this particular institution, we are a center of excellence, and we have a number of examination bodies which examine or administer examinations to our students. We have Kenya National Examination Council, we have the National Industry Training Authority, which is referred to as NITA, and we also have CIDA.
The fees chargeable is 26,420 by the parent. However, that is not inclusive of the final exam given by either NITA, CASEB or NEC. The government pays that 1,000 per year per student. And there has fulfilled requirements of. You can divide that into 2, or you can divide that into 3. The government funded us about 2017. We were given equipment on value addition. In value addition, we are teaching food science and agriculture. In that area, we have started recently. We have the first group that did the exams, one last year. We have admitted another class now.
It comes from Michuki. He or she is able to operate the dairy processing machines and also the meat processing machines, and also carry all the microbiological, the chemical analysis, and the physical analysis of food that is required in food industry.
We have adequate workshops for all the courses that you offer, and right now we have more space than the number of runners that are in the 8,000.
wanted to is marketable. This course is not meant for men. It's only ladies. You cannot only be you can be a quantity surveyor, whereby you estimate and record the materials which are going to be used in the construction of a building. What we are taught in class by our teachers of Michuki Technical Institute, it's helping me to have more skills, which are going to help me by putting on hardware, where I'll keep tools that are going to be used in construction, cement, blocks, and bricks, and such.
This thing that we are environment running is very conducive. Where we are situated is very conducive. Before you decide to take your son, daughter, your child, or any other, think about Michuki first. It will give you a whole man, a whole woman who will be dependent on herself, not you any longer.
Michuki Technical Training Institute is the place to be.
Raundi hii usiachwe nyuma. Smart Choice is giving you a chance to win up to 100k in cash, in daily bonus giveaways. To play, go to M-Pesa, paybill number 973737, account win, amount 50 bob only. The more you play, the higher the chance of winning. Smart Choice, your caring friend. Over. Play responsibly. This draw is approved under the BCLB number 002738.
Are watching DAESAK TV, Cradle of Goodness.
Congratulations, you have done a great job. You have made a high quality product. Your service is excellent. Now it's time to tell the customer about it in a crystal clear manner. Leave no doubt in the mind of your customer. Advertise with us and successfully connect with your customer. Text or call us on 074 121 812. We are vibrant and our rate card is gentle on your pocket. Your success is our success. DAESAK TV, the cradle of goodness.
Je, ungependa kuwa shupavu katika operesheni za mashine kubwa ama heavy machineries? Njoo Kilimambogo Highways Building and Technology, shule iliyotambulika viwandani, humu nchini na nje ya Kenya. Njoo usome courses kama plant operator and driving, instructors training, stone cutting, borehole drilling training na nyingine online, ama ututembelee Thika Garissa Road, Bogoga Stage. Kilimambogo Highways Building and Technology.
Huhadithiwa, vitendawili, lakini simulizi husimuliwa. Wapo watu ambao mambo waliofanya sharti lazima yatambuliwe. Wengine waliupigania uhuru, lakini wengine maisha yao yanatufunza mengi. Na ndio maana kipindi cha The Patriots kitakuletea mashujaa hawa ili kwamba uweze kufahamu historia zao, jinsi maisha yao yalivyokuwa yafanya katika DAESAK TV. Tunakuomba wewe ukaweze kuungana nasi ili kwamba nikuletee yale mambo ambayo yanakuhusu wewe sana. Mambo ya usibonyeze kidude, tazama tu.
Mechuki Technical Training Institute is a government-funded institution. It was started way back in 1956 as a youth center. We have a population of 4,500 as of 5th September 2022. We have several courses. In electrical, we have artisan, we have craft, we have diploma. In building, we have artisan, we have craft, we have diploma.
In IM department, we have different sections. We have food and beverage, catering and accommodation. We also have fashion and design, hairdressing and beauty, food science, preservation and processing, general agriculture, analytical chemistry, and also baking technology.
As ICT department, is a diploma course, that is diploma in ICT, and the other one is craft in ICT.
We boast over 200 computers that assist them be able to browse and do data and the studies. Come to workshop, ICT workshop, after for them work. Behavior for the students ought to be having a D-. The craft course, the cadets should have a D and above. The diploma, any course, the students should have a minimum of C+, and above. Those standards are not set by Mechuki Technical. They're in the syllabus for
institution. We are examination bodies which examine or administer examinations to our students. We have Kenya National Examination Council. We have the National Industrial Training Authority, which is referred to as NITA, and we also have CDAC.
The fees chargeable is 26,420 by the parent. However, that is not inclusive of the final exam given by either NITA, CASNEB, or NEC. The government pays 30,000 per year per student who joins and has fulfilled the requirement of being admitted. You can divide that into 2 or can divide that into 3. The government funded us about 2017. We were given equipment on value addition. In value addition, we are teaching food science and agriculture. In that area, we have started recently. We have the first group that did the exams module 1 last year, the auto attachment. We have admitted another class now.
When a student comes from Mechuki, he or she is able to operate the dairy processing machines and also the meat processing machines, and also carry all the microbiological, the chemical analysis, and the physical analysis of food that is required in food industry.
You have adequate workshops for all the courses that you offer, and the number
technology opportunities. Ladies, you cannot only by help
$100K 10 account winning. You are carrying 18 only a day.
Great, you have made your service excellent. Leave customer at or call 0782. Our vibe is change your DAESAK TV, the greatness.
Kuwa shupavu katika mkubwa ama machineries, Ogo highway and technology. Cutting, training na nyingine. Tuma application ya simu online. Risa Road, Kilimambogo Highways Building and Technology.
Hadithiwa lakini si watu ambao mambo walioyafanya ya kuli jini kupania uhuru lakini maisha yao ndio maana ya mashujaa hawa ilikuwa zao jinsi maisha yao yalikuwa na mambo muhimu walioyafanya katika maisha yetu ya sasa. Na hapa TV tunakuomba wewe ukaweze kuungana nasi ili kwamba nikuletee yale mambo yanakuhusu wewe sana, mambo ya historia. Nyezi kidude, tazama tu DAESAK TV.
Is started with 1856 a youth center. Of their 5 2022. We have several courses. We have diploma, building, we have craft, we have
department, we have different sectors. Food and beverage, catering and accommodation. We also have fashion and design, hairdressing and beauty, food science, preservation and processing, general agriculture, analytical chemistry, and also baking technology.
As ICT department, we offer 2 courses. One is a diploma course, that is diploma in ICT, and the other one is craft in ICT.
We boast over 200 computers that assist them be able to browse and do related courses and studies in ICT. When you come to mechanical workshop, ICT workshop, food and beverage workshop, you find we have latest equipment that enable them to relate well with the world of work. So in total we have 5 main departments. The entry behavior is important to know that for an arts and course, the students ought to be having a D-. The craft course, the cadets should have a D and above. The diploma, any course, the students should have a minimum of a C+ and above. Those standards are not set by Michuki Technical. They are in a syllabus developed by KICD for and on behalf of consumption by the public.
In this particular institution, we are a center of excellence, and we have a number of examination bodies which examine or administer examinations to our students. We have Kenya National Examination Council, we have the National Industrial Training Authority, which is referred to as NITA, and we also have CDAC.
The fees chargeable is 26,420 by the parent. However, that is not inclusive of the final exam given by either NITA, CASNEB or NEC. The government pays 30,000 per year per student who joins and has fulfilled the requirement of being admitted. You can divide that into 2 or you can divide that into 3. The government funded us about 2017. We were given equipment on value addition. In value addition, we are teaching food science and agriculture. In that area, we have started recently. We have the first group that did the exams module 1 last year, the auto attachment. We have admitted another class now.
When a student comes from Michuki, he or she is able to operate the dairy processing machines and also the meat processing machines, and also carry all the microbiological, the chemical analysis, and the physical analysis of food that is required in food industry.
We have adequate workshops for all the courses that we offer, and right now we have more space than the number of runners in the institution. That we are projected to go to 8,000 because of the space.
wanted to pursue building technology because there are more job opportunities here outside and it is marketable. This course, it's not only meant for men, it's even opened for ladies. You cannot only be a civil engineer, you can be a quantity surveyor, whereby you estimate and record the materials which are going to be used in the construction of a building. What we are taught in class by our teachers of Michuki Technical Institute, it's helping me to have more skills which are going to help me by putting on hardware where I'll keep tools that are going to be used in construction, cement, blocks and bricks, and such.
One of the best things that we are known for is that we are environment for running is very conducive. Where we are situated is very conducive. Before you decide to take your child or any other, first, you should not be disappointed. You worry for money. I'll give you a man who will be dependent on not you any longer.
Called
chance to in daily M-Pesa account with 50 bob. The higher chance of winning. Carrying over 18 gaming can be addictive. This is under the BC.
You are watching DAESAK TV.
You have done a great. You have made a high product. Your service is excellent. Now it's time to tell the customer about it in a crystal clear manner. Leave no doubt in the mind of your customer. Advertise with us and successfully connect with your customer. Text or call us on 0724 121 812. We are vibrant and our rate card is gentle on your pocket. Your success is our success. DAESAK TV, the cradle of goodness.
Je, ungependa kuwa shupavu katika operesheni za mashine? Njoo Kilimambogo Highways Building and Technology, shule iliyotambulika viwandani, humu nchini na nje ya Kenya. Njoo usome courses kama plant operator and driving, instructors training, stone cutting, borehole drilling training na nyinginezo. Tuma application kupitia simu, online ama ututembelee Thika Garissa Road, Ogoga Stage. Kilimambogo Highways Building and Technology. Tingatinga is the thing.
Hadithi huhadithiwa, vitendawili huteguliwa, lakini simulizi husimuliwa. Wapo watu ambao mambo walioyafanya sharti lazima yatambuliwe. Wengine waliopigania uhuru, lakini wengine maisha yao yanatufunza mengi. Na ndiyo maana kipindi cha The Patriots kitakuletea mashujaa hawa ili kwamba uweze kufahamu historia.
You are watching DAESAK TV, the cradle of goodness. You are
A very good morning to you and welcome back to the Morning Dew Show here on DAESAK TV with me, Andy Mike Kilamu. And right now, we are sorry that we won't be able to have our second segment, that is the political segment, but we are privileged to have the third segment, that is the lifestyle segment, and we'll be talking matters education. And I'm joined by my very esteemed guests, and I'll be giving them time to introduce themselves and tell you who they are and where they're from and what good news they've carried to us today. Just to start, please, talk to us.
Okay, good morning, viewers. I'm humbled to be here. I'm called Linda Washika, a trainer, and also I double as office at Michuki Technical. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Welcome. And
Thank
to the
you.
gentleman.
Good morning, everybody. I'm in technology, and I'm glad to be here. More so to talk about variation, how to impart skills on students.
Okay. Thank you very much. You are very humbled for you to be here, and we thank you. And just to move forward, now that you've had, we are having in the house Miss Linda Washika and Mr. Dixon Mugendi, who are going to talk to us more about Michuki. They're from Michuki Technical Training Institute, and they'll be talking to us more about that as time goes by. But just to start our conversation today, Miss Linda, what would you say? What would you say the education system right now in Kenya is in your own terms?
I'll talk about education system. I zero in on TVET, talk about TVET sector. I would say the government has really come in to support our students, and it's something that we appreciate us as the trainers, because if you compare some years back and when seeking to come to TVET institutes, as opposed to, I'm not saying going to university is bad, but majority of the students are even appreciating TVET more than the university because it's hands-on. Yeah. Okay.
And now, Mr. Dixon, now from what, let's say, a growing trend that the TVET are, it's clear that they are able to produce more students that are hands-on, that are productive in our society compared to the university. How true is that fact?
Yeah, it is very true. For example, for us as Michuki Technical Training Institute, the government has invested a lot, especially mostly in my area, the variation, because we have different machines. For example, you have dairy processing, we train students on to process all the products of milk. Also, we have meat, so we train students on the skills of doing something. That's, for example, if you want to make sausage, you train students on making sausage, not just the theory.
Not the theory part of it. Yes. So that is what is arguably what is happening in our societies right now. That the universities, the graduates from university, have the theoretical part of it, but they lack the hands-on skills to do it. So, Miss Linda, I would really love maybe you tell us a little bit about Michuki Technical Training Institute as an institute.
Okay. Michuki Technical Training Institute, it's an institute which has been there for quite a long time. And it is a growing institute. It has really grown. As at now, our capacity is, we have many students, around 4,000 students. And why Michuki? If you asked why should should I come to Michuki? Why should I go to Michuki?
Yeah, those are some of the questions we wanted to ask you. Why should
a student choose Michuki and not another training institute?
Yes.
It's because Michuki, we are geared to bring out a whole student. Someone who has all the skills. We are more, our mean score is very high.
Okay.
We have qualified trainers, very competent trainers. The school also has accommodation facilities.
Okay.
So many institutes don't have 1,200 students inside the compound, which is the joy of any parent. And we mentor students. We have clubs and societies. CU, CSGA or CA. And also we have clubs. Maybe this is someone who's come from high school, who's good in drama, who is good in sports. We are committed to take our students to all the competitions necessary, where we front them, and then most of the students maybe get sponsors. We nurture the talent, those who have talents. So we never miss in the nationals competitions. We never miss students. Another thing about, we also offer, the government offers help, support to our students. What happens? The school fees is 56,420 for technical, and then now the government pays, I said the support from the government, it pays 30,000. And then now, there's also support from government through loans, that is the help. Us as the institute, what happens, we take the student through the process, and once the student fills up the process, you fill up the forms, what is necessary, the requirements, then we take your form to help. So we assist our students get help.
To get help.
Yes, and getting help gives 45,000 to 40,000. Then the school fees which is remaining is 26,420, which is clear that the student also goes with the pocket money. A good amount of money. Just allow me to finish.
It's okay, it's okay.
Yes, there is also the help. We address the issues immediately. If you are sick if you are sick and you are a student, whether you reside outside, in the outside hostels or within, we also have a standby driver. We're always ready to take our student to Morana referral. And then also, I've talked about, we are very happy. I know you have seen our buses all around there. We have vans, we have buses. There's free Wi-Fi for our students. We stream our services, Sunday services, and free Wi-Fi hotpoint for that the students can be able to research more and learn more. Yeah, thank you.
And moving forward to Mr. Dixon. Now that you are in the food science and processing department, what is the government involvement? You know, we have a problem now with the feeding process that is with the primary to up to the tertiary level. So you, as in that department, what is there government help from that, or you just work it out as an institution alone?
First, as I said earlier, the government has changed the raw agricultural products to something new. For example, you take meat, then you change it to maybe sausage.
That Michuki Technical Training Institute has a farm where maybe the student get engaged or something of that sort.
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
We do. And when we talk about feeding programs, if you're talking about in high school or in
no, like I know it's a problem that cuts across from primary till the tertiary level. Now I'm asking at your level, how do you do it? Because we have even stories like on today's paper, we have stories of students pupils who are going to sit for KCPE and they are crying of starvation because the schools cannot really provide for the students. And you see it makes it hard for them to really concentrate on their exams. So I'm asking, how different do you guys do it in your institute?
We have a canteen where they can purchase their meals. Or they even have houses.
Yeah, they have their own places.
They are hostels where they can, not inside the institute, where they reside in the community, the outside hostels, they can be able to cook for themselves. And one thing maybe I'll comment about now, what we have seen in today's daily is that if we embrace the CBC, which is here with us, where a student is taught on how to farm, a student is taught on how to keep rabbits. I think we'll be able to beat that issue, because if, for example, the school has a farm where the students who are learning agriculture can be able to farm food, I don't think there will be sustainability.
Yes.
They'll be able to produce their own food which they will feed. I think because feeding is very expensive.
Yeah, it's very expensive right now. And now, you talked about you giving your students accommodation.
Yeah.
Now that was the reason why I asked you about the food, because I thought maybe they will have a program, maybe a mess, or where they go eat, where there is food provided by the school.
Or what happens is we have a dining hall.
Okay.
We have a kitchen, but it's an outsourced function, where the student can be able to buy meals at a very subsidized price. A plate of food going for 30 shillings, where can you get? Or 40 shillings, where can you get in this country? So a very subsidized.
Okay.
Yeah. But we don't cater. Okay, we offer accommodation. Our accommodation is very cheap. Very cheap, 4,000 per term. So you see now.
Also, if I'm to stay there, I pay 4,000 in a whole term.
Yes.
And how many people in that place, like the students? Do they stay in cubes or?
Yeah, we do have cubes.
Okay.
We have different hostels, by the way. Maybe if I can mention them.
Okay.
We have Mount Carmel. We have Mount Kenya. We have Badea. We have Obama. We have Malaika.
Okay.
So they are well catered for. They stay in a cube. There are cubes which they stay in 6, others 4, depending with the type of their hostel.
Okay. And we are doing 16 days of gender-based violence awareness. How maybe if I asked you about the counseling sessions, how do you do that? Because we've realized right now students are really suffering in terms of mental health, and they don't really have a way forward or where to go to in their institution. So how prepared is Michuki Institute in that kind of situation?
Us as Michuki, personally I'm a counselor.
Okay.
And our trainers, we also do, we train them on basic counseling, such that you can offer some guidance to your students. You know, students are close to their teacher, a class teacher who teaches department, where we offer guidance to our students, counseling services to our students who seek our services, and also we have gender policy, gender mainstreaming policy, where we mainstream on issues to do with gender.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Dixon, let me come to you. Talking about value addiction. Now, talk to us more about value addiction, understanding that now the fact the country we are at, the country is at right now, where we're having GMO coming over and non-GMO. What can you say about that?
About value addition, we see that
because you are the farmers now. You are the ones who tell us what is really happening down here. So, what do you think about it?
The GMO maize.
Yes, let's start there.
Or the GMO, you know, it's first is a genetically modified foods. It has some advantages and some disadvantages. Because if you go to the advantages, those crops sometimes they resist droughts. They don't need pesticides there. You find some scientists say they cause heart diseases. They cause cancer. So you find some time, if you go to you do a research, you find when the United States introduced the GMO maize, you find there was high rise of the obesity cases. So somehow we are just, so there are some advantages and disadvantages of that GMO maize.
Okay. And now in your department in Michuki Technical Training Institute, what do you have? What can you say about that value addition and the agriculture as a whole within the Michuki Institute? What do the students that come there come out when they are ready to face the society? What do we expect from them as compared to?
So thank you. So what I can say about value addition, mostly we deal with the processing, that is production, processing, that packaging, labeling. So you take, for example, you take milk, you make yogurt, then you package. So before you process any product from milk, you have to carry out the quality control. For example, I receive milk from the farmers, I have to do some quality control. If I check whether the farmer has added water, we have those machines there. I check whether the content, the fat content that milk before I proceed to processing. So I train students from this reception. Then now we go to the processing itself, and how to adjust to control the acidity. For example, in yogurt during fermentation, the student keep on checking. We have a very equipped lab at Michuki Technical, and we thank the government for that. Also, we train students on different processes. For example, if you talk about food science, food processing, we talk about, we train on dairy processing, meat processing, where we make different products of meat, that is the sausages, the bacon, the ham. Also, we train them on cereal technology. We train how to make a flour from wheat grains and the maize grains. So before you make wheat flour, there are those quality control. You control the moisture. Now, you find some maize. You find unga has been found containing aflatoxin because maybe during the process, before processing, they never checked for the moisture content in that maize. So you train on that. So when a student comes out of Michuki, he or she has the skills. When you expose them to the industry, they know how to conduct those analysis and everything in food processing. So you are able now to extend the shelf life of that food. So you find now there is food security in the country.
Yes, we need so many people like you because we have food insecurity issues right now. And now, depending on the weather right now, the way it is, it has been an issue, you know. So we would like people like you to be in the society. Anyways, just back to you, Linda. Do you guys offer internship programs for your students?
Yeah, we do.
How easy is that?
You see, Michuki Technical is a government institute.
Okay.
And what happens with the government institute, there are commitments. Commitments with the government, that is the performance contract, that we are supposed to do this within this financial year.
Yes.
So there are also commitments for offering internship, which are to be offered in government institutes or government institutions. So we do offer internship to our students. Yeah.
Okay. And what opportunities are available for people maybe who love, let's say, they're more into sports compared to the hands-on issues there? How do you accommodate such people?
Okay, what I had initially shared is that we nurture talents. We nurture talents. Our sports personnel, that is the coaches, are taken through training. So we invite FKE for training, we invite Athletics Kenya, because now once you are taken, because if I'm going to be a coach for volleyball, I should be trained on how to know even the rules of the game, to know what is required, because we are going to produce students. In as much as I'll not be able to understand this other aspect, my core business, that is learning, I'll be able to, just the other day, I'll be able to maybe to understand football and to maximize my potential. Like the other day we had athletics and we went for nationals at in Nairobi. Was it in August? In Nairobi, was it New Stadium? Yeah. We went to Nairobi, and then what happens? Our 2 students were taken for athletics trial.
Oh.
By Athletics Kenya. So we were very happy.
Okay.
I'm sure if they would have passed the trials, maybe we would have seen them at maybe representing Kenya.
Yes.
Yeah. So we nurture talents so that we are able to bring you forward, front you, so that you are able to attract even the sponsors who are scouting for talents.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what, Mr. Dixon, what would you say is the most important aspect of college life, in your own words? How would you term the most important aspects of college life, if there's a student out here that is looking and saying, now I want to join Michuki Institute, but what is that thing, that important aspect, you as their trainers look into a student and say you headed the right way? Because so many people right now enter into colleges and universities, but they end up, they never graduated, nothing happened, somewhere in between there something happened, and we don't know who to blame, whether it's the students or the trainers. So what would you say in your own words?
So about college life, what I would advise students is that when you come to college, just let it be you person. Don't let it not be a group event. So some peer pressure is spoiling students. So when they come, let them be of moral values and also God-fearing. It starts from there. If you fear the Lord, everything will go well with you. And also know that your goal. You have come in the institute to learn, to gain skills, and go out there. And nowadays most of youth are focused now on entrepreneurship. Go gain the skills, go and employ yourself or look for employment. So don't engage in those peer pressures, maybe some tobacco, whatever. Yes.
And this...
Maybe I can also add.
Okay, sure.
I can also add something. Once a student comes to Michuki Technical, you are not just all play without work, make Jack sad. All work without play makes Jack a dull boy. Yeah?
Yes.
So you are involved, if you involve yourself in the various activities. I've talked about sports. Our students are playing for clubs. There are different clubs. Just the other day, there are 2 who went and joined KDF team. So you are going to classes. After classes, I either join CU, I either join SDA, and then again, or I join a sport. You are playing basketball. At the end of the day, you are very tired.
Yeah.
The only thing you need to do is to sleep. And don't involve yourself in drugs. So if I don't involve, when I'm very busy, I'm not idle, I'll be able to utilize my time well. So, and those are the things that will guide them, so that we produce an employee. You give us a student, we give you an employee.
Okay. And that you really narrowed it down, because I was going to ask you that maybe the important aspects of your institution now as Michuki, in terms of morals, religion, and how diverse are you guys in terms of respecting other people's religions, because I understand you guys have clubs, so they are represented. Maybe there's a Christian, there are Christians, there are Muslims, there. Okay. Now, would you say that with the introduction of CBC, would you say that it will at some point undermine the tertiary or the institutions later in the state, because now we're having that practical nature brought from a very early stage? You
see me, I'm a product of 844.
Yes.
And what I would say is I don't think it will undermine the tertiary. What CBC is doing, and I'm also championing for CBC, is that it helps bring this person as to explore the talent. You see now, talent pays.
Yeah,
even you can agree with me.
It pays.
Talent pays more than this other one. So meaning, if this person is good in agriculture, why will this student be struggling to choose a career after high school? I remember there was an aunt of mine who was telling me that, can you talk to your cousin After high school, I've looked at her. She didn't get good results in Form 4. But after looking at her taking good kin, I cannot be able to zero in what she's good at. So don't we think we need to now know when this person is in primary, goes to high school, you say this person is good in football. We take you for training for junior. People who are going to be footballers in future. For junior clubs, huh? You see, like Manchester United, see, there are those clubs for junior who are training the, what are they called? Those are clubs where they train young people who are going to be good footballers in future. Those people are going to be, they are good in agriculture. They are good in mechanical engineering. So instead of us asking ourselves, after Form 4, what next? You just know this person, let me place this person in value addition. Let me place this person in mechanical engineering. Let me place this person in building department. So this person is growing to what his potential is, his talent. I'm good in music. You agree with me?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, these musicians are being paid a lot of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let us bring out the potential in that person. Let us nurture the talent of this person. And talent pays more. Yeah.
True that. And just to ask her about the intakes. So how prepared are you guys to take, because we know that now we have major intakes, right, between I think March and there's one
January. We have different intakes.
How many do you have in a year as Michuki?
As Michuki, we normally have 3 intakes.
3.
There is the January intake, the May intake, and also the September, which is our major intake. Yeah.
Now that we'll be having several, like 2 groups coming out of university joining, how is the process of transition between the high school to the tertiary on your side?
Just the other day, we were having high school students, Form 4s coming to our institute to get to know more about us. And even making decisions, we were sharing about, in fact, we've not even shared the departments that we have.
Okay.
Maybe
I'll give you a chance to do
yes.
that, yes.
So they were coming, we share what we do, as Michuki, what we train, and so that these people come prepared. Once they finish the high school, they are able to know, once they get, they finish their school, get their results, they're able to know what am I required, from what I've gotten, what am I going to do craft, am I going to do diploma, and then from there, us as Michuki, we are very ready to welcome. The admission process, the hostels are there. We do maintenance every holiday to prepare for them, and also I'll have enough trainers who are able to take them through the training. So we are really prepared.
Okay. And in terms of nurturing the students now that you have, is there a program, maybe let's say an alumni group that helps in that people can come back and showcase and say, I was here, I did this, I've done this, and this is how I've become, and you can do the same thing. So do you have such kind of arrangement in Michuki?
Yes, we have Office of Career Guidance. Office of Career Guidance, it assists the students in communicating their vacancies, which are there. We have alumni group, a very active alumni.
Okay.
Just the other day, when was it? This time, we had them, they came to school for a service.
Okay.
We had, we hosted alumni for the service, Sunday service, where they were able to share with the students who were there. What I was here, there's another one who was there 15 years back, what they do, what are the links for them where I'm working, can we be able to get adverts from where, can you pick your sister or your brother, and also show them the way, how we go about it. We have a very active alumni group.
Now, in the job society, Mr. Dixon, what is the relationship between the income and the peer quality in tertiary institutions? What would you say about that? The relationship between the income and the peer quality in tertiary, with students from the tertiary institution. Like, let me just break it down. You might find there are people who are like the university graduates. They come out and they tend to be maybe the income gap would change, despite the fact that productively, you see the people from the tertiary are being more productive compared to them. So what is the relationship between the income and the pure quality in the tertiary side?
In tertiary, for example, in a technical institution, we give students the skills to do something. So you find some students don't understand that in technical institutions, you have to get the skills so you can employ yourself. You can also be employed. But you find sometimes in the universities, they are not given the skills. So you find a person has done craft certificate and he is doing very well because maybe he's an electrician. He can able to change the bulbs and do everything electrical and earn a lot of money. So you find a bachelor's degree person, I know some, if you tell them to change the bulb, you find somehow it is challenging to them because we are giving them the skills, because CBET, it's now it's model on how to practical experience and technical skills to the students, so they are able to get a lot of income, and most of them they get employed and also employ themselves.
Okay.
Another thing maybe I can also add is that in the universities they are training managers.
Yes.
As we are training what we call. So at a given point, how many managers do you need?
Just one.
Just one. And this one is not retiring. Maybe I'm 30 years. I have more 30 years to go. But now, when you look like, for example, a construction site, how many fundis do you need?
A lot.
A lot.
Yes.
A lot. And those are the students you are churning out. So that is why it is easy to swim into the job market because they also taught entrepreneurship skills. That means that's what he has said. You can be employed, you can employ yourself. For example, let me take for example someone who has who learned about yogurt. This person can be able to produce yogurt. I learned about making mandazis. I can be able tomorrow to get a pan. How much is a pan? 500 and one packet of unga and some oil. I can go and a pima and I start my business with after some maybe 1 month or two. I'm doing very well. I've opened already my catering services. I'm cooking for people. You see, now it is easy to swim into the job market. That is why, like for example, that's the other day I went to assess a student. An artisan student is a student who got an E.
Okay.
An E. Long time ago, where would an E go? An E student came to our institute for 1 year, got the skills. This is someone doing piping for a house which is going for 15 million.
Wow.
Yes. What else do you want? That is what you talk about, income. And this now the supervisor now, who is the one with the contract, says this is a very good person. In the next 5 years, this person is going to have his own company.
Yeah, he'll have elevated to the next
level. Yes, and the government is coming up with initiatives. Now we've seen the disaster fund. You can, if I'm going to start maybe mending clothes, dresses, maybe it's now a festive season. And I charge you how much? I just go take the 5,000, start my hustle, and I'm good to go.
Let's talk about the hairdressing that you are now. Yes, tell us something about that.
I want to say this. I've trained so many students. I have 20 years of experience. And I have a student who I taught in 2016. This student earns 100,000 per month.
Out of places?
Yes, because, you know, even now, and we get so many students coming to the hairdressing. The other day we had 120, one intake, one class. Why? I think what is informing them is I can be able to employ myself. I have students maybe, sahi kwenda kinyozi, if I'm to do barbering, nowadays at Upper Moranga, for a good haircut, how much does it cost and some massage?
I think it's 300 and above.
Yes. So if and shaving, how many times do you go in a week?
It depends.
Maybe 3 days.
Three
or 2
yeah.
or twice.
Twice a month.
A week. Per month. If I'm going, if I'm maintaining
no,
a
if
short hair, like him,
I
yes,
think it's.
I will frequent. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Like you. So if I'm starting with 300 per week, I come twice. That is 600.
600 shillings.
And if it's a busy Kinyozi, I'm very sure you're going to get. I have students working here. Here in Moranga, earning 15,000 per month. The other day I was connecting a student to go and train, to be a trainer. And he declined. I told me, Mwalimu, I can't. Why? You are giving me 20,000. Where I am, I'm already getting 20,000 and I'm getting more clients each and every. Yeah. So it is easy to get your own, employ yourself. You can go to homes and plait their hair. You can do manicure anywhere.
Yeah, but it has a lot of money.
It has a lot of money.
The ladies make their nails every day.
You know, spending. So it is easy. And in fact, the business that is there is the men.
Okay.
The barber shops have changed.
Now the roles have changed
the
drastically.
Barbers, the men, they want to be in their own cave, in their own space. You know, men are comfortable in their own space, where you'll be shaped. And then there'll be some massage. A lady will do the massage. They'll have a facial. They'll have a pedicure in their own space. And you know, men pay more than ladies.
Yes.
So it is good business.
Now, in matters of time, I'm being told we are running out of time. I want to give you this time to talk a little bit about Michuki Institute and all that is Michuki, from the socials, how they can get you, what you guys are offering, whatever it is you have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Michuki Technical. Michuki is one of the old schools, and very soon we are going to be National Polytechnic. We hope very, very soon. We have already been fronted to be one of the to be among the national polytechnics, and we have different departments. We have building department. We have mechanical department, we have IM department, ICT department, electrical and electronics engineering department. And we admit both gender, that is male, female and male. And for a diploma course, anyone who has a C- and above can join for can be admitted for a diploma, any diploma, may it be electrical engineering, building, mechanical, food and beverage, catering and accommodation, value addition, any C- and above qualifies for a diploma. Then we get a D and a D+. This person qualifies for a craft. And then we have D- and below qualifies for artisan. And then again, according to the Kenya National Qualification Framework, what is there is, you can, if you have a C+, you can go straight to the university. But you can get a student who has an E, that is person who qualified for an artisan, qualifies for artisan, passes the artisan, goes to craft to diploma, and then you can even go to the university. That is how the framework is. And so, meaning that if you come with a craft setting for craft, I got a D+ or a D, and if you get you pass the craft certificate, that is, you'll be exempted 1 year when you're taking for your diploma course. So there will be an exemption. And when you join university, there will also be an exemption for you start in the 3rd year. So we are saying, welcome to Michuki. Michuki is the place to be, the school of choice. Yeah. Yeah. And we are able to give you an employer and to even connect you to the jobs which are there in the market. Our skills match the job market because we have qualified trainers, certified trainers who have gone through the pedagogy skills and are able to understand our students. Yeah. Thank you.
Moving on to you, Mr. Dixon.
Yes.
What do you have to say? What would be your parting words now that we are nearly ending the show? What would you have to say?
Thank you. Mine is to tell the viewers about the technical institutions. So for us as technical, we offer skills to students. So if you get any grade, you are not a failure. Most of them find that if you get a D minus, you become a failure. If you get a D, you stay at home. No, just come. We give you the skills, and you're able to employ yourself. And also, if you don't, if you get a C plus and above it, you don't want to go to university, just come. We offer you a diploma, and you get the skills. By the way, I have a student who did actual science, and he's now doing diploma in food science and technology. So he just went to university, then just came to do the technical course to get the skills so that she can employ herself. So welcome to Michuki. And when you are choosing a course, please consider technical courses. Thank you.
Thank you. One, I forgot to say our handles.
Yes, sure.
Yes.
To remind you.
Yes, our handles. You can reach us at, we have a YouTube, very active page, Michuki Technical Training Institute. YouTube, Michuki Technical Training Institute. Interact with us in our website. We have a website, www.michuki. You'll find us there. We have a handle. We have just Google. You'll find us in our website. We are prompt. We reply as soon as possible, and to address the issues raised. Thank you.
Just to add on that, maybe you should tell our viewers where you people are located in Muranga, so that maybe the people who cannot access you via the social media platforms, maybe they can come to you guys.
Okay. We are located in Muranga County, Mount Kenya West, that is Muranga County, Kangema constituency, Iego division. And when you are coming from Nairobi, there's a place we call Koinange, not the Koinange Street, just next to OTC. You'll find vehicles written Michuki Technical next to MTN. The stage for Kangema, there's a vehicle written Michuki Technical Iego. So just board that vehicle, written Iego, will take you right to Michuki. If you're in Muranga town, just get a vehicle going to Iego. That is, there's Iego Secondary. Let's say we are located in Iego location. Yeah. So coming from Muranga, there are vehicles direct to our institute. Coming from Nairobi, there are also vehicles from Nyeri. If you are coming from Nyeri, you get a vehicle to, you can use either Odhaya, Kiriaini, Kangema, then board vehicles to Iego. That is where we are. It's a big institute. It accommodates very many students. By the way, I have not said, the other time we are under national cohesion, we were awarded the best nationally because we have trainers from and trainees from all over the 47 counties.
Okay.
And that's how blessed we are. I come from Kakamega County, and I'm here, and I want to say Michuki is the place to be. Thank you.
Okay. I've been told that we are out of time, and we've been having a very productive discussion with Ms. Linda Washika and Mr. Dixon Mugendi on matters tertiary and more so Michuki Technical Training Institute. And we hope that we have been able to impart knowledge on you and help you to know what you really want within the tertiary institution, and more so that is Michuki Technical Training Institute. And this is just from me. I've been your host, Andy Mike Kilambo, and on behalf of my co-host, Kamau Peter, it's a goodbye and have a blessed day. See you same time, same place tomorrow.
DAESAK TV, the cradle of goodness. You are watching DAESAK TV.